Good early afternoon, gardening friends. It is, let's see, January the 14th, just past noon, and I just wanted to show you, I've decided to make a little upgrade to my shelf, because basically I'm looking at how I did this support here, and I'm chickening out. I want to make it beefier. So what I'm actually doing right now is I am cutting a support that will fit, well, I'll show you afterwards, but it'll fit there. But it also occurred to me what I could do, since I got the ends of all of these 2x3s hanging out here, what I can actually do, and since I have additional materials like another fence board, I'm going to go ahead and mount that fence board on the front, which will hide a lot of the wood, but what it really does is it will, how can I explain this? It will keep this and that at the same distance, which will stabilize it even more, especially since right now I'm sitting here and sawing on top of this and I can feel the whole thing kind of moving around and jostling around. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'll show you when I've got it a little further along. Alright, something I didn't anticipate before I put this angle brace on was that if I cut it too short, this would actually get in the way. So the next one's going to be a little bit longer, but this one's on good enough. Alright folks, this is pretty much the finished result. You can't really, it doesn't look a whole lot different from what I showed you. Just the main thing is I put one more down here. Cutting that wood with a regular miter box is a little bit of work. So there's none under here, but I figure I'd do every other one. It's that much stronger. So that's it for now. Good morning, gardening friends. It is Sunday, January 22nd, just before noon, with a airplane flying overhead. Here's the updates. So we've got the lima bean back there, still hanging in there. The tomato hanging in there, but I'm really not expecting much, but then that's kind of where I was this time last year. Broom corn, I think chamomile, with actually a couple of heads from the basil thrown in there. Just as I keep pulling the flowers off the basil, I just kind of toss them around in the nearby planters. So here's more of the basil. It's more of the heads. Basil's kind of looking sickly, but it's still okay. More basil, more stuff in the planter. And let's see, looks like we might have some marigold growing in here, and maybe a weed, I don't know. We've got over here, we've got another marigold planter, I believe, and there's one little marigold in there. We got the lonely broom corn in here, still going way up, still hasn't fallen over or anything. We did have some rain yesterday. I apologize for all of the aircraft. Not sure if I can actually catch them. No, anyway. We did have some rain, so a lot of these planters on the edge are wet, where others aren't necessarily. More marigold and what looks like some chamomile in there. We've got this odd sort of tree sort of thing. I don't know what this is. I just know somebody gave me seeds and I planted it, and this is like a year's growth. The memorial planter, nothing yet. So I'll maybe give it another week and then I'll plant some more seeds from the memorial stuff. The marigold planter. The plant, I don't know what it is, but it's still alive. The mutant zinnia child, that still survives. The another marigold, another sick-looking marigold. The branch from the tomato, which is still alive. I don't know how many roots it's put out, but it's still alive. Don't know what that is. Kind of looks like maybe chamomile. Then we've got another attempt at growing some of the mutant zinnias. We got the lemon cucumber, no progress. But then we get over here and we got another of the mutant zinnias, and all three of the seeds I planted have popped. Over here we've got the carnation in stock. Those are growing. Over here we've got the apartment mix, which is the marigold, the mutant zinnia, and some broom corn, which is probably what that one is right there, sticking up, but starting to germinate. Nothing more on this particular pot with the mutant zinnia. The sugar baby watermelon, nothing yet. We do have the kabocha squash. It looks like at least 2 of the seeds have popped, so I'm happy about that. We got a little bit more progress in this planter for the apartment mix. Looks like we probably have room corn right here, and then next to that maybe the beginnings of some marigold. Just for reference, this is what stock's supposed to look like. I happen to buy some for the planters out there around the office. More on that in a little bit. Oh, before I forget, in case you're wondering what lima bean actually looks like, there we go. That's an actual lima bean. So you just pop it open and you get the familiar beans that you're used to seeing. That's what that looks like. I picked one of those off. Not much more back here. Let's go outside. By the way, once you get the lima bean open, that's what they look like. Those are going to be delicious for a snack. Okay folks, so here's the hummingbird planters. We're going a little overboard. One thing I did do a couple of days ago is after you fill it nearly to the top and then you give it really heavy water, it turns out that water just kind of pulls the dirt down and it compacts on itself. So I added more dirt. The flowers are hanging out. They're doing pretty good. Let's go around here. So we got another one here. I did basically the same thing with this, and that's still looking healthy. The edges of the leaves are kind of brown. I don't like that, but then again, it's been kind of getting random sun. So also I bought some additional flowers. I forgot exactly. Oh, this is the stock. What am I thinking? This is the stock. So I've added a couple of planters. So now it's basically yellow, orange, purple on those. I come around. See, we got another yellow, looking reasonably healthy. Get an orange, which is not looking as good, but oddly enough, this gets even more sun, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. More stock with purple. And now I'm on the other side of the building, where it looks pretty bland without the planters. This is just sort of the back side of the building, the office complex. This is an empty planter. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Here's one of the yellows from out front, looking reasonably healthy considering we don't get as much sun back here, and it is, I don't know how well you can see that, fairly overcast today because we're looking at rain tonight and tomorrow. Southern California, go figure. Actually we need the rain. So here's the orange from the other side. The leaves are looking healthy, but the flower doesn't look so great. But basically just a question of rotating them around. They're up on hooks, so if I just get up on a ladder I can actually pick these things up and move them around. And another empty one, so I've got 2 more that I'm planning on filling up and adding flowers to. That's it for today.